The French government, following the American victory of Saratoga and the near victory at Germantown, had decided to support the Americans in their fight for freedom as a way of damaging their old enemy Great Britain. Louis XVI had agreed to an alliance with the young republic, thus diverting much of Britain's strength and attention to defending its Caribbean sugar colonies from the French. Soon, French forces would be sent to America to help drive the British from the American coastlines. Celebrations were held at the News as men and officers rejoiced at the change in fortunes. Then came the opportunity that Lafayette had been dreaming of since his arrival in America: the ability to command his own army in the field of battle. Though the Americans had failed to seize Canada during the years of 1775 and 1776, many in Congress and in the American military believed that there was still sufficient support for their cause among the old French-Canadian settlers living along the Gulf of St. Lawrence. In fact, several hundred Canadians had joined the American armed forces and had participated in most of the major battles, including the battles of Brandywine, Germantown, and Saratoga. These Canadians would be assigned to Lafayette's command, as well as several thousand other American soldiers. The American command hoped that with the alliance with France, they could receive help in retaking the old French colony of Quebec that had been seized by the British in 1763. Lafayette was ecstatic. Not only would he help the Americans by removing the threat of invasion from Canada, but he also would be able to avenge the French loss of 1763 and restore the honor of his beloved France. Arriving in Albany, New York, Lafayette discovered that the army was far smaller than promised, and that there would be little support shown for a second invasion of Canada. The lack of French support did much to kill the operation as well. Disappointed and frustrated, Lafayette found himself far from his friends in the main American army and dealing with a disorganized and collapsing military structure in the north. Turning his energies to rebuilding the northern wing of the Continental Army, Lafayette found himself facing a formidable opponent, the Native American powers aligned with Great Britain. The indigenous peoples of North America had long posed a challenge to colonists' plans of expansion and conquest. Rather than passive victims, as they were sometimes portrayed, these tribes were groups of people who were willing to fight and contest the advancing empires. In fact, these Native American tribes were also willing to conquer and create vast empires themselves. The Iroquois or Haudenosaunee Confederacy had successfully established a powerful empire in northwestern New York State and remained a strong player in imperial ventures. On many occasions, they had played European powers off against each other and had succeeded in gaining more territory and supplies from their European enemies. Lafayette himself sought to negotiate with the Six Nations, as the Haudenosaunee Confederacy was also called.